Good morning. My name is Theresa and this is BibliOsa. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for stopping by. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, do all the things. I would appreciate you. Today I am going to show you my TBR game. I spent much too long and a few bucks putting this together. I am pretty proud of the way it turned out. I think it's super cute. I am going to call it Enchanted Stacks, and we're going to see what we can get up to with it. I don't read as fast as everybody else that has YouTube. Well, most everybody else. 4 to 5 books a month is a good month for me. I just don't have the time to read more than that. So even though my goal is to end with about 10 books through this game, I am not holding myself to reading all 10 of those books. Those are just the 10 priorities, if you will, for that month. I have not even done a run through of this game, you guys, so you're doing the practice run with me. There are different icons on the board that signify different things. I will put a little cheat sheet up here for you to see that explains everything, and I will explain them as I land on them. I am not going to go through the time to explain everything before we start because we would be here for a month of moons. So, here we go. First roll. 1. Maybe not the best start. Let's see. Landed on a prompt jar. Also spent too much time putting prompts in this wonderful little jar. Colors do not mean anything. There are over 100 in here, I think. So let me see what we get. Actually, a little bit nervous. There's some prompts in here that might be tricky for me. Let's see what we get. Okay. All right, let's see. An author you've met or wish to meet. All right. I think I'm going to go with V.E. Schwab for this one. I really loved The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Of course, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil is top of my TBR, but I don't have a copy. I don't want to buy a copy, and I can't get it from the library for months. So I'm going to go with Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. It's available on Kindle Unlimited, and it says, Kel is one of the last Antari, magicians with a rare, coveted ability to travel between parallel Londons, red, grey, white, and once upon a time, black. Kel was raised in Arns, Red London, and officially serves the Moorish Empire as an ambassador, traveling between the frequent bloody regime changes in White London and the court of George III in the dullest of Londons, the one without any magic left to see. Unofficially, Kel is a smuggler, servicing people willing to pay for even the smallest glimpses of a world they'll never see. It's a defiant hobby with dangerous consequences, which Kel is now seeing firsthand. After an exchange goes awry, Kel escapes to Grey London and runs into Delilah Bard, a cutpurse with lofty aspirations. She first robs him, then saves him from a deadly enemy, and finally forces Kel to spirit her to another world for a proper adventure. Now perilous magic is afoot, and treachery lurks at every turn. To save all of the worlds, they'll first need to stay alive. Sounds good to me. Okay, roll number 2. 6. Much better than 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, bummer. Okay, this is... Go back 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Spinner wheel. Okay, so our second roll... Man, I cannot talk today, you guys. Just bear with me. Our second roll got us a spinner wheel. So, this is heavily inspired by Lindsay at She Is Booked and Busy. If you do not follow her, you need to. Go do it. I have 1 main spinner wheel and then 5 sub spinner wheels, if you will. So we're going to spin the first one, and then if it lands on a space for a different spinner wheel, there is a sub wheel we will have to spin. And of course, all of these actions have consequences, and there are rules, and yeah. So we will just spin it, and then I will explain the outcome. All right? All right. Okay, next in series wheel, which means, of course, I have to spin the wheel that has all of the next books in series that I'm working on. So here is the wheel. I'm going to spin it, and we're going to find out which subsequent book, next in series book, I'm going to read. Okay, fine. Hopefully this will change my opinion of this series, because I don't know if it was overhyped or what, but I just felt like it didn't live up to my expectations. I buddy read it with my son, and he really liked it. He's 26, but he really liked it, and said, Mom, you got to read it. And I was like, and I read it, and I gave it 3 stars. It didn't hit right for me. So hopefully Golden Sun, the second one in the Red Rising series, will be better. Okay, roll number 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Well, I just rolled another 3, which means, of course, I landed on to go back 3 spaces again, which means we're going back 3 spaces to the spinner wheel again. All right, let's spin. Oh goodness, I hope we don't get caught in like a Groundhog Day situation. All right, ready? Sorry about the lights, you guys. I'm learning. Unread Kindle wheel. So yes, it took me a long time, but I did go through all of the books currently on my Kindle or in my Kindle account that I am interested in reading, and put them all on a wheel. So I have no idea what we're gonna get. Yeah, here we go. The Warbler. I think this is Sarah Beth Durst. I think so. I'll put it up here. I'm pretty sure. That could have been much worse. It is Sarah Beth Durst, and it's not that old. 315 pages, 10 months. That's the longest Eliza has stayed any place, constantly propelled by her fear that if she puts down roots, a family curse will turn her into a tree. But she's grown tired of flitting from town to town and in and out of relationships. When she discovers a small town in Massachusetts where mysterious forces make it impossible for the residents to leave, she hopes she can change her fate. As Eliza learns about the town's history, she understands more about the women in her family who seem doomed to never get what they want. Now she believes she's stuck too. Is that a patch of bark on her arm? But her neighbor's collection of pet birds sings secrets that Eliza can almost understand. Secrets she must unravel in order to be truly alive. Oh, that sounds good. I'm happy about that pick. Here we go. It's a 2. 1, 2. Another prompt. All right. Here we go. Prompt jar. Man, this is fun, but terrifying. All right, let's see. Okay, ready? I'm probably still going to show these to you, even though they're backwards. Bear with me. A book set at sea. Okay. Hold, please. Stretching it just a little. But it's not really, I don't think. I'm going with The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Yes, I know I should have read it already. I don't think I need to tell you guys what it's about, but I guess I'll read it anyways. A magical island, a dangerous task, a burning secret. Linus Baker leads a quiet, solitary life. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat and his old records. As a caseworker at the department in charge of magical youth, he spends his days overseeing the well-being of children in government-sanctioned orphanages. When Linus is unexpectedly summoned by extremely upper management, he's given a curious and highly classified assignment. Travel to Marseilles Island Orphanage, where 6 dangerous children reside: a gnome, a sprite, a wyvern, an unidentifiable green blob, a were-Pomeranian, and the Antichrist. Linus must set aside his fears and determine whether or not they're likely to bring about the end of days. But the children aren't the only secret the island keeps. Their caretaker is the charming and enigmatic Arthur Parnassus, who will do anything to keep his wards safe. As Arthur and Linus grow closer, long-held secrets are exposed, and Linus must make a choice: destroy a home or watch the world burn. Well, that sounds interesting. I knew I wanted to read it, but it's been so long since I read that synopsis that I'd kind of forgotten everything except for, caretaker orphanage kids. So that sounds good. All right, next roll. 4. Another prompt jar. Some of these are going to be tricky. Some of these are going to push me way outside my comfort zone. Some of them are going to be wonderful. Let's hope for a wonderful one. Or let's just make them all wonderful. We have the power to control our own destinies, right? Okay. Oh, gosh. A cover with a key, lock, or door. Oh, I have a couple ideas. Okay. I think I have my choices. 4. A cover with a key, lock, or door. I narrowed it down to 4. They are Marriage Hex by Sarah Blue, The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson, Book of Doors by Gareth Brown, or Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. I think right away I can eliminate the Book of Doors. The other ones just sound better. And I think I can also eliminate The Courting of Bristol Keats, which leaves the Marriage Hex and Rebel Witch. I'm very excited to read Rebel Witch. I am chronic about reading the first book in a series and then just not going back to the rest of them, so I really should read Rebel Witch. But the Marriage Hex sounds cute and fall-esque and, oh geez, I just don't know. I think because the Crimson Moth is just a duology, I think I'll go with the Rebel Witch. So for a cover with a lock, key, or door, it's The Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. I was supposed to only get about 10 books out of this game. We already have 5, and I'm not quite halfway. Let's see. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, why did I do this to myself? All right, so this space means go back to start and keep all the books that you've already accumulated on your list. So yeah, there's that. All right, let's just roll again. 1. This may be the end of the year TBR. All right, prompt jar. Let's see what we get. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. The book on your TBR with the longest title. All right. Okay, so I had one book on my Goodreads TBR that has 10 words in the title. So for the longest title on my TBR, I am going with The Entirely True Story of the Fantastical Mesmerist Nora Gray. I don't remember anything about this book. I don't remember putting it on here. I don't remember when I put it on here. It says, as spiritualism reaches its fevered pitch at the dawn of the 20th century, a Scottish girl crosses the veil to unlock a powerful connection with an infamous asylum in this thrillingly atmospheric, exquisitely evocative exploration of feminine rage and agency for readers of Sarah Penner, Alice Hoffman, and Hester Fox. Oh boy. Asylums and things with the mind fascinate me, but they also scare me. So this could be like the perfect spooky season read. Hopefully it's not too scary. Leaving behind a quiet life of simple comforts, Nerina Leigh traverses the Scottish countryside with her charlatan father, Tavish. From remote cottages to rural fairs, the duo scrapes by on paltry coins as Tavish orchestrates encounters with the departed, while Nerina interprets tarot cards for those willing to pay for what they wish to hear. But beyond her father's trickery, Nerina possesses a genuine gift for communicating with the spirit world, one that could get an impoverished country girl branded a witch. A talent inherited from her grandmother, Lottie Laith, widow of the Welsh coal miner, whose story of imprisonment and exploitation in a notorious asylum is calling out to Nerina from 4 decades past, a warning to break free from the manipulations, greed, and betrayals of others. What do the cards hold for Nerina's future? Rescued from homelessness by a well-connected stranger, Nerina is whisked into a new life among Edinburgh's elite spiritualist circle, including visiting American star Dorothy Kellings. Researchers, doctors, psychics, and thrill seekers clamor for the rising young medium. But after a seance with blood-chilling results, a shocking scandal ensues, and Nirna flees to a secluded community near Boston where she assumes a new Nora Gray. But Nora can't stay hidden when Dorothy Kellings offers her the chance to face all comers and silent skeptics at a spectacular seance at Boston's Old South Meeting Hall, where Nora will come face to face at last with her spiritual guide, the courageous Lottie Leith, whose heart-wrenching story and profound messages are indelibly tied to Nora's destiny. Okay, well, that should be fun. All right, let's roll again. Let's see how far we can get on the board before we go backwards again. I can't even. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A wild. Hey, I get a free pick. What do I want to read? I think I'm going to go with, easy pick. One of the book clubs that I'm in is reading the Spell Shop this month. So I'm going to use my free space wisely and use it for the Spell Shop. Let's roll. 3. 1, 2, 3. Spinner space. Let's see what wheel we're going to end up with, or what action we're going to do. I never in a million years thought this was going to end up with so many books on it. Okay. Spin the wheel. Of course it is. Overload means add a book over 500 pages. Let me take a look at my Goodreads. Okay, for the overload spinner wheel prompt, I'm using it to put the Book of Azrael on here because I'm already reading it, and it's over 560 pages. So, I mean, if it's going to beat me up, I have to take the advantages that I can get when I can get them, right? So, the Book of Azrael is going on. Let's roll again. All right, here we go. 1. It is just my way to dive into something and do it the most complicated, difficult, hardest way the first time. But this is exciting. This space is fate. Fate says that you roll the die. If I roll a 1 or a 2, I get to remove a book from my current list. If I roll a 3 or a 4, it stays the same. If I roll a 5 or a 6, I have to add a book, but it can be a book of my choice. Goodness. 1 or 2? Let's go 1 or 2. Yeah, of course. All right, so what do I want to add? Do I want to add a physical book? I haven't read a physical book in a while. And I just did my previous video finding all of these wonderful books in the box that I had. Do I want to read one of those? Because this game is kicking my ass, I'm going to take one of those advantages. I am going to choose Love and Other Killers by Bryn Weaver. This little story, I think it's only like 60 pages. It follows the same people that were in the Ruinous Love trilogy, which I really enjoyed. So I'm just going to do this little short snippet book because I need all the help I can get. If you have not heard about this, it's the annual hunt for Sloane and her vigilante family of serial killers. Track the most cold-blooded psychos imaginable and take them down. This summer's prey is Alan Munster, a church-going chicken farmer who slaughters more than fowl. The rules of the hunt: divide into teams, devise a strategy, and make a move. The more cutthroat, the better. May the best team win. The players are closing in. All eyes are on Munster, but there's a hitch in the family sport this year. Someone might be watching them. I think it sounds super fun, and I am excited to read that one. Let's see if we can get, halfway across. This next row would be good, at least. All right, give me a 6. Four. Be nice, be nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this one is remove book. So I get to remove a book from the list. Oh my, what shall it be? So far we have A Darker Shade of Magic, Golden Sun, The Warbler, A House in the Cerulean Sea, Rebel Witch, The Entirely True Story of the Fantastical Mesmerist Nora Gray, The Spell Shop, The Book of Azrael, and Love and Other Killers. Well, It's not going to be The Spell Shop. It's not going to be The Book of Azrael. And it's not going to be Love and Other Killers. So, let's see. I really need to read The Web Witch because I'm terrible about following through. And at least I could say that I finished a duology. House in the Cerulean Sea. This is like one of those guilt books that I spoke about in my previous video. I should have read this already. I really should have. I don't know why I haven't. I'm so bad about starting series and not following through. The Warbler, it just sounds incredibly original, and it's been on my Kindle forever. Golden Sun, my son came home during one of my little intermissions, and I told him that book got pulled, and he was like, oh good, so now you have to read it. So I kind of have to read it. I guess I will take A Darker Shade of Magic off for right now, and maybe it will get put back on. But for now, Darker Shade of Magic is gone. Even though I love her writing, I really do love her writing. We're on the second row. Maybe we'll make it out alive. See what we get. A 6. Oh my goodness. As long as it's not something bad. I think it'll get us past the back to start one. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spinner wheel. Let's see. Oh gosh, there are some scary spaces on here, you guys. Some scary spaces. Like, Lord, please don't let me hit one. But you'll see if I do. Oh, shut the front door. I get to buy something, and I don't have to put it on the list unless I want to. That's exciting. All right. This will take time. I don't know what I want to buy yet. Okay. That took entirely way too long. I'm glad you guys didn't have to wait around for me to figure out what I wanted to buy. But I found a book that was on my wish list that was on a Kindle deal for $1.99. So this is what I got for a treat myself. It is called A Dark and Secret Magic by Wallace Kinney. Hecate Goodwin, Kate to her friends, has curated the perfect life as a hedge witch, living in a secluded cottage with only a black cat for company. She spends her days foraging herbs from the Ipswich forest, gardening and creating tinctures to sell at the apothecary she owns. Most evenings pass without her speaking to another human being, an arrangement she quite prefers. Kate's solitude is thrown into disarray when her older sister Miranda reaches out and asks her to host their coven's annual Halloween gathering. The day marks the beginning of the new year for witches and is also Kate's birthday. The pressure from her coven to make the evening memorable mounts as the event draws near. To complicate things further, a handsome man from Kate's past turns up at her cottage asking for sanctuary. It is Kate's duty as a hedge witch to honor this request, much to her dismay. Matthew Cipher is no ordinary lost soul. He's a practitioner of forbidden magic who's tricked Kate once before, and her guard is up. As she juggles Matthew's arrival and the preparations for Halloween, Kate comes across an old tome shrouded in dark magic. She's horrified when she realizes the blood-red inscription is written in familiar handwriting, her recently deceased mother's. Afraid to even touch the dark magic her mother secretly studied, Kate can turn only to Matthew for help. Her idealized memory of her mother begins to distort, and as she and Matthew grow closer, Kate has to reevaluate whom she can really trust. A Dark and Secret Magic is a celebration of the Halloween season and a love letter to anyone who drinks pumpkin spice in August and carries the spirit of a witch inside their heart all year long. So I'm excited. That sounds really good. We are 6 spaces from the end of this game and the end of my TBR stack. Hopefully the rest of them treat me well. Let's roll. 5. All right, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another fate space. Okay. Again, 1 or 2, I remove a book. 3 or 4, it stays the same. 5 or 6, I add a book. Let's see what we get. 2. That means we have to remove a book. I don't know which one I want to remove yet. Let's think. So far, Golden Sun, The Warbler, A House in the Cerulean Sea, Rebel Witch, The Entirely True Story of the Fantastical Mesmerist Nora Gray, The Spell Shop, The Book of Azrael, Love and Other Killers, and then the Treat My Shelf book was A Dark and Secret Magic, but the Treat Your Shelves don't have to be put on the TBR. I'm definitely keeping Love and Other Killers, The Book of Azrael, The Spell Shop, Golden Sun, and The Rebel Witch. So that leaves The Warbler, House in the Cerulean Sea, and The Entirely True Story of the Fantastical Mesmerist Nora Gray. I think I'm going to eliminate The Entirely True Story of the Fantastical Mesmerist Nora Gray. It just seems very, very spooky for right now. I'm not sure that I want to start reading about seances and everything when it's just the 1st of September. So that leaves us with Golden Sun, the second book in the Red Rising series, The Warbler by Sarah Beth Durst, A House in the Cerulean Sea, Rebel Witch, The Spell Shop, The Book of Azrael, Love and Other Killers, and maybe A Dark and Secret Magic. We made it to the end of the first round of Enchanted Stacks. I didn't do as bad as I thought I would. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is not that bad, especially after the restarts and the go backs and the holy cannoli. I was scared for a minute, but I am kind of excited. It worked out pretty well. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.